If you're a frequent user of the internet, then you are more than likely familiar with this popular Japanese phrase.
Omae wa mou shindeiru. Nani?
This popular phrase has been quoted by many and solidified in pop culture, online culture, and internet history.
Omae wa no shindeiru.
Relate.
Omae wa mou shindeiru. Nani? Omae wa mou shindeiru. Nani?
Come si chiama?
Io la chiamo Nani.
Omae wa mou shindeiru.
Nani!
Omae wa mou shindeiru.
But what is the source?
You guessed me.
We see the villain say, Nani?
Nani?
The word Nani is Japanese for what? Huh? That's it. What? And the line from our protagonist,
お前はもう死んでいる。
this infamous clip comes from the first episode of the anime series Fist of the North Star, aka Hokuto no Ken. Fist of the North Star was one of the headlining manga series in the weekly Shonen Jump. By this time, Jump had already made a name for itself by promoting up-and-coming manga, developing a larger audience amongst women, and having a greater reach than its competitors and predecessors. As later we would see Dragon Ball Z in 1984 and Jojo in 1987, Hokuto no Ken would go on to have 245 issues from 1983 to 1988. The series was adapted into two anime series, Fist of the North Star and Fist of the North Star 2. The first animated feature film of the series was simply titled Fist of the North Star and was produced by Toei Animation, which premiered in Japan on March 8th, 1986. There's also an American-produced live-action movie of Fist of the North Star that was released in 1995. Between you and me, that's not one you'd want to check out.
What are you trying to do? Tickle me to death? Don't turn your back on me!
You're already dead.
Unless you're just that interested. The series we are diving in today, Fist of the North Star, was aired on Fuji TV and its affiliates from 1984 through 1988. There are a total of a whopping 152 episodes. Hokuto no Ken takes a ton of inspiration from Violent Jack, Mad Max, and Bruce Lee. The story takes place in a post-apocalyptic Earth. A worldwide nuclear war set sometime in the 1900s, but in the series is heavily referred to as 1990X, has completely wiped out all living specimens except for humans and this little girl's dog. Because the world is pretty much now an empty wasteland, villages and towns are controlled by gangs, bandits, and thugs.
Warriors, come out to play!
These powerful gangs manage the town's food supplies, are involved in human trafficking, and they dress like they're a poison cover band. But no gang can compete with our untouchable badass of a protagonist. We meet our protagonist at the height of the episode. We don't learn his name right away, but as the episode progresses, we later learn that his name is Kenshiro, or Ken for short. Ken is a wanderer, going from town to town in search of his beloved fiancée, Yuria. Yuria was taken by Ken's rival. Ryo aims to dominate the world. They all do. All the villains. They want to just dominate the world. He sets out to dominate the post-apocalyptic world as the supreme ruler of Century's End. Now that's a nice title, huh? He's the one that also gave Ken the wicked scars on his chest that we see. And those scars, every time someone sees those scars, they always say how they look very much like the Big Dipper. And yeah, Ryo gave Ken those scars by pretty much poking him, literally. You saw that, right? Has a power that literally allows him to poke people to death. Remember how there was always that one kid in elementary school that would go around poking people? Am I annoying you? Am I annoying you? Am I annoying you? And he made it into his power. Never doubt the annoying kid, because he could end up becoming the villain. I initially thought that those were bullet wounds on Ken's chest, and when I saw them, I was like, yo, that's hard. Like, got shot up. Like, whoa. But no, he just got poked. So yeah, like I mentioned, the scars on Ken's chest are shaped like the Big Dipper. So every time Ken shows off that bare, muscular chest, it takes everyone by surprise. According to the elder of the first town, it's a bad omen. Ken possesses this power where every time he activates it, anyone who's within a foot of him hears this very loud, high-pitched noise. So this is ultimately, I guess, the sign that he is the successor to a deadly martial art form known as Hokuto Shinken. This gives him the ability to kill his opponents by striking their secret vital points. We first see Ken kick the ass of the Zed gang. The Zed gang storms into town after coming across some of their members that had their asses handed to them by Ken. The leader of the Zed gang takes the town hostage, killing people left and right to gain information on who hurt their buddies. When Lin, a young orphan girl who helped Ken out while he was in prison, is taken by the leader of the Zed gang, shit hits the fan. Ken rescues Lin by using his power to, explode a few heads. We do this every weekend, right? And it's pretty gruesome. And after exploding those few heads, Ken fiercely takes down the leader of the Zed gang by exploding his insides.
様の拳など顔どにも効かんわい。お前はもう死んでいる。何？
The brutality and gruesomeness is nothing new, especially for its time back in the early 1980s, as Fist of the North Star definitely aligns with its predecessor, Violence Jack. However, Fist of the North Star did lay the foundation of setting up a world in a post-apocalyptic setting. The daily dangers of living in this dark and desolate place with no central organization, no government, and just a ton of hyper-violence and focusing on your survival in this desolate world. Does it sound like a series that maybe you may love? Because a ton of them have definitely taken inspiration from Hokuto no Ken. Now that Ken is rehydrated, because water of course is very hard to come across in a post-apocalyptic world, Ken continues to protect the innocent from pillaging gangs, and he's met some new friends along the way to wander the post-apocalyptic world with him. And now that he's off and about searching for Yuria, his beloved fiance, he has Bat and Lin to wander with him. Bat is a young thief that's a pro at building gadgets and dealing with technology, and Lin is an orphan girl who saw her parents killed in front of her by terrible bandits. Bat and Lin ride along with Ken to witness his gruesome killings of villains. And boy, are those killings gruesome. I can only imagine just how gruesome those scenes would be if they were recreated using animation tools that we have today. But that is one of the beauties of this show. Every scene is hand-drawn, and honestly, that's just not something that we see a lot of today. A majority of animated series are digitally produced, so being able to watch a masterpiece that was carefully hand-drawn out is a one-of-a-kind experience, to be honest. As Ken continues on his journey to find Yuria, he faces villains by using his fighting style, Hokuto Shinken. Hokuto Shinken is a sacred martial arts that can only have one successor per generation. Like I mentioned earlier, this fighting style allows for the user to kill his opponents by striking secret vital points. And our protagonist was trained in this fighting style alongside his 4 adoptive brothers, Ryo, Heio, Toki, and Jagi. All 4 brothers were trained in the fighting style by Ryuken, their adoptive father. But Ryo is that little bitch that we're out to get. He's the one that stole our girl, Yuria, who later gets a makeover in the series that makes her look a lot like Gem. You guys remember Gem? And not to mention, he also killed Ryuken, the adoptive father that trained everyone in Hokuto Shinken. He's the reason that Ken is dehydrated and wandering the desolate desert. That little bitch. But I would highly recommend Hokuto no Ken, or Fist of the North Star, to anyone interested in stories based around the underdog who's set on getting revenge after he was thought to be dead, but instead took some time to regroup, defend the innocent along the way by showing off his badass skills. All all to win his girl back from the antagonist, who is set, of course, on conquering the world, because they all are. They all are. Have you watched Fist of the North Star? And if so, let me know what was your favorite boss fight in the series. And if you're about to go check it out, you can easily access it. It's available on Crunchyroll. They have a majority of the episodes for free. They are all subbed though, so if you're a type of person who doesn't really care for subbed, probably not worth your time. But honestly, it's a really good story to just kind of, you know, check out. So I definitely highly recommend it. I also saw that the movie's on YouTube, so that's available and up if you're ever interested in checking that out as well.
お前はもう死んでいる。